record you too. I'm gonna record you. Look, record it with the recording. And I have to record them because anybody breaking the door, I gotta record. Even that. Look. I could have got hurt. Everybody breaking the law, trying to hurt people, humping people, is a justification for that. It's called a merger, reporting line with the MK Ultra merger and avoiding conflict when the city agency workers are off their pharmaceuticals, staring, spitting, and looking abnormally not sane. And that's why I have my title and these city agency workers that are not migrants reported live with the disciplinary action Brazil style when I happen to be from Brazil. When I'm not recording people and exploiting people, it happens to be what it is with the narrator with 32 degrees. For the record, when you have a coherent treasurer and not shaking, agitated, dwarf, hobbit, and not the migrants, digging in your nose, is when they stare at your legs, shaking, digging in your nose, 32 degrees. Reporting when you're not reporting but working for anything. And then a behavioral concern like that does not look like this when you're not having 32 degrees. And the agency worker wants to fill their oaths and they're not a certified martial artist and they're not a certified worker but an agency worker and reporting live with the narration for everyone that wants to be Ukrainian and you can't control your emotions paying seat. You can't control your emotions. You're Ukrainian, but you can't keep still. Anyone can't keep still, lights out. And Poseidon wouldn't be having it. Germany wouldn't be having it. Ireland wouldn't be having it. Czechoslovakia would not be having it. Venezuela would not be having a little queer Asian person shaking, trying to be like everybody else. Would not have a Beyonce, Giselle knows Carter, criminal, setting fires and finding up with the molded face on my submarine. And then the NYPD officer, and you say, let there be light. And no one sit here, and I don't want no one sitting there, and then the reasons are the reasons. Because of it, no one sits here. No one sits here. Only the big truck, you're not sitting here. You're not going to fit up and just 7 feet. And no one has to sit here looking at my stuff. When you have no one sitting here, but Ireland is going to be, I'm Irish, and so I have rights. And I don't want anyone but a Wildenberg, Lancaster, Pennsylvania type martial artist, or a certified Linda Lee type martial artist, or a certified, especially anyone staring in my face, and I have 4 children, no one staring at my kids, or African Naomi Campbell, a queen of Netherlands, of an African dark, staring at my children, especially not staring at the cup, a hobbit, dwarf, and migrant. A behavior of concern little girl that can't stop staring at other people's fathers. And little migrant dwarfs and that are not migrants at all. And then Lancaster, Pennsylvania, here. And then Hershey Park, where she wants to go, throwing up her hands, because the migrant, as you know, is not the migrant. In America, uncertified people, unregistered people throw up their hands. And then you say, Hershey Park, Sesame Place, and Devosa FEMA, Jerome, Guantanamo Bay. Then I have to say, long-term acute care and the treasurer does not have to put his hands up. And let there be light. And if I have to say let there be light, I mean what I say. Because anyone that's agitated, shaken on Astor Place in St. Mark's, and not in Brooklyn in St. Mark's, and not Astor Place in Canarsie, and not on an island, and not Barbados, anyone that I said should not be sitting here. And sitting here, you didn't have permission. You have a homosexuality diagnosed little girl, staring in my face, reporting live with the MK Ultra mind control, and I did not give him permission to sit next to me. Did I give Britney Spears permission to buy a loft of 7 bedrooms for one man and her brother? Hell no. I told him to not sit next to me. Did I give her permission to stare at me and put her daughter's legs over that and sit in front of me? No. Did I give a migrant a permission to try to be in my face smiling? No. Did I do something like this and say Tumla Knights and I'm related to the Royals? Yes. If I want to knock his teeth out and fund the doctor, if I have to fund the doctor and I have to do that, do I do that? Iron Man, no, not Iron Man, but a treasurer for a merchant and Chase belongs to me. Merger, yes. anybody staring at me with a pole of a nipple and a mole like that is just not appropriate when you merge the doctor's office. And Jairo Garcia wouldn't be having it. The light would be dimming down when I'm not having it. And anybody staring at my daughter like this with a mole and a pimple looking like that is not appropriate to be staring at my kids. You're not going to stare at my kids like that because the ring has to turn and it turns the table when anybody is staring at my children like that. Like say if I have to get off the train and I have to pay the doctors with the CT scan and fund the doctors. Reporting live is what I do. Yeah, and I normally have to get off here to go to work. And when I have to go to work, I have to because I can get off the train or have someone stop staring at me in my face. If I have to avoid conflict is what I do. Every Indian pimple face with a pimple with a mole that's not a pimple should not be out the CT scan office. It's not appropriate. If you have a little 2-year-old girl demonically staring in my face, Dr. Baker would say, St. Luke's. Dr. Baker would say, St. Luke's. Dr. Baker would say, a treasurer. Dr. Baker would say, MD Dr. Rockefeller would say, MD Dr. Baker would say, MD Dr. Sinclair would say, the borderline personality disorder for this grown man with the hickey on his neck. See? When you have a CT scan, it has a worm and an urch in it. You can get the earthworms, it's not. Because Dr. Rothschild would say, I'm a primary care physician, and the tapeworm is here. The tapeworm is in growth. And when I have the hickey, Dr. Robert Warford told me, Mr. Horace, you're fortunate. I'm a primary care physician. I'm your primary care physician by choice. I am a director of special advanced eternal pharmaceuticals. I am a primary care physician and a director. I'm a man. But because I'm a doctor and I'm still a director of a Wells, Cornell, New York, and not St. Luke's at the time, I am your primary care physician for the fertility aspects. I said, well, reporting live, but not reporting at all, with the monologue specialist, because I am that certified monologue agent. When you have the license insurance, pimple, when you have that license insurance mold, and Wells, Cornell, New York, Presbyterian, and you have the imports and exports networks. Community healthcare. And you had that little 14-year-old girl that just cannot stop staring at your father on the submarine. You have Captain Nemo and John Nathan and Joseph Biden and Kamala Harris. You have a normal person with a normal name like Kamala Harris and not the mole pimple with the tapeworm that just knocked you still. You have the man with the gold shirt and it happens to be a color of wanting to inch your nose. You have the segment with the reporting live with the monologue specialist that happens to have the finest materials and clothing because the Soomlanites is still the treasurer we have today. We have the treasurer of a merchant company and it just happens to be imports and exports. Then everyone playing musical chairs as was not authorized to sit next to 32 degrees. You can have shake and bake and then a musical chair like Cinderella would do. Oh, inflammation disease. That's why there's juice on the big inflammatory disease leg. So we went from the huffing and puffing breathing with asthma, then you went from the musical chairs from India, then we went from the mole of the ladies that think they're all about them and they're dwarfs because they're not migrants. And I know what Dr. Rothschild would say. You have the X Dr. Rockefeller patients. Nothing's funny when you have the submarine and then you have the mind control and the leash on your neck. You're being trolled and pawned with the school of family of migrants now. Now you have the migrants and the minorities and not just the minorities but the migrants on one single file. I get my wish. Yes, manifest. Exactly why I have read the King James Version book of the Netherlands called Soomlanites. And when you read a certain great book, not a novel, I wanted only the Bilderbergs to sit here. And what do you know? You have a real Irish and German mixture here. It's the Georgian and Victorian I always wanted for today. If I mean what I say, and I say what I mean, Close your mouth, and I want you to put your mask up now. Because when you're yawning in my face, I didn't want to get sick. You have the Ukrainians over somewhere, and digging in your nose, perhaps, and what it is today. When you have people digging in their nose and throwing boogers, it happens to be the dwarfs. When you have the hobbits, and I say, I want it nice and hot in here. Let's get it hot. Let's put the heat on. Turn the heat off in a little bit hard. Because Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and Asia wants the recession. And then if I say something like, your face is one of those heat boxes, I want a mask up indefinite. Put the hoodie over your head. I'll have to put the hex on you, 32 degrees. And I have created another hex from the Tomb of the Night, Book of Anarch. When you have the Color Royal, Book of Anarch, then you have the Mind Control Specialist, and it just happens to be a certified vocal specialist, monologue specialist, and that Asian myself. When you have Asia and Africa, an African individual, then you have Indian folk. And if I say, let there be bells and let there be light, this little kid needs to stop staring at me. You have a 2-year-old little kid. You have a 4-year-old little kid. And a 4-year-old little kid right here. That's the 4-year-old little kid, see? That's the 4-year-old, then you have the 5-year-old little boy. Let me point to that 5-year-old little boy. Okay. Then you have the age of the family royals. Now this is the royal ages of the wonderful, inappropriate, not migrants at all. Now keep in mind, you have Royce Davis coming on the train, and I know the media. That's Royce Davis. He is definitely the media worker. When you have Royce Davis, I Googled Royce Davis, reporting live with the standing over someone with the face that happens to be chunky. And it's Ukraine. Another Ukraine individual. And I know a Ukrainian individual when I see it, because when you burn a bridge down once and you can't control yourself, I refuse to report and record someone that's boundary impaired. My train's over there. I'm always able to get to work on time. That's why when you're transport 4 train, that's what we do logically. Like when you're transport 4 train and I use the 4 train, I'm able to do things logically. And I'm able, and yes, able to get to work normally on time, because when you have like Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and you have an express train, then you have myself and an Asian person that happens to be the person in my category. Letting everyone out my submarine. And I was able to focus better and better and better. And I met someone from Lancaster, Pennsylvania yesterday, and it just happens to be my aunt. When I came back from my Lancaster, Pennsylvania, it's just my aunt who doesn't play musical chairs and is not boundary impaired and not standing over anyone, acting like a bug that's not under the St. Luke's from Detroit, Michigan, St. Luke's in Chicago, Illinois, St. Luke's. And then you have a merger. You try to scope it out. Hello, can you move over so I can sit down, please? No, that's my aunt. Move that way. I'm German and Irish. We don't like that jacket. I don't know if it has bed bugs. I don't want you that close to the lady, okay? Scoot over there. Then you have a mind control St. Luke's expert. And then I'm a psychological analysis analyst. Put your mask up. Thank you. Thank you. And everybody protect yourself. I'm not a man. Don't touch me again. Don't touch me. If you touch me again, I'm going to call 911. He's humping people. That's not appropriate. Now, I'm going to call Dr. Baker. You are not appropriate. I asked you to stay a little bit boundary impaired. When you have a boundary, you're scaring us. You're scaring us. Then, 33 degrees. I try to protect the ladies. But if you're going to put your chest on someone like me, I have to just ignore the people that cannot control their emotions. And this is why you have Dr. Baker, and then you have Dr. St. Clair. You have MD Dr. Rothschild and XX Dr. Rockefeller patient. We're scared of you. You just assaulted me. I asked, reporting live with the disciplinary reaction, MK Ultra Mind Control. And then you have the proper certification, the paranoia. And when you want to protect the royal lady, you be yourself and act nicely, because you scoot away from that lady. Because you're not record everybody. because you keep your eyes on that phone. Then you have Dr. Land, MD Dr. Land, MD Dr. Rockhouse, MD Dr. Baker, and you have MD Dr. Sinclair. Once you have the assault of a bit, then you have Ireland and Germany and Brazil, Jamaica and Barbados, and the English, European Virgin Islands. Every Czechoslovakia, Brazil, and other kind of islands that does not associate with the humping, bumping, and grinding, and reporting live with the psychological analysis. Myself, also known as the MK Ultra Mind Control Operation Paperclip. Myself, employer, the Quandit of the Rothschild, Rockefeller, Devota Rothschild, Rockefeller, Dana Whitten, Giselle, Horace, James Dow Jones, myself, James Dow Jones, myself, DeBarge, Ancestry.com 620. And I do it not like every Ukrainian person digging in their butt. That's not Dr. Robert Warford. That's not Dr. M.D. Robert Warford and Yarborough and Eric. Because when you have an Eric Yarborough, these are the real certified people. And then you have the Mount Sinai merger when there's cameras and footage in St. Luke's in Chicago, Illinois. And that's right, you have the merger for the Mount Sinai and the shareholders, which I happen to substantially have the subpoenas, and not only the subpoenas, but the issue of the petition. And because I have that petition, it happens to be for the St. Luke's in Chicago, Illinois. One healthy way. New Jersey, Ramparo Valley, Mawaha, New Jersey. And I just happen to love New Jersey because I happen to live there by choice. And my family loves to buy and live comfortably. And when I'm a treasurer, I'm not digging in my nose and humping people with chests. Why is that? Because I try to be like my family. But when it comes to criminal courts and Bellevue Court and Supreme Court, it's just one of those days. And now another message for our sponsor. Introducing the song for the segment of the last song of the day. The Devota Microsoft Quad Productions Loft and Resorts song. And it goes like this. Just one of those days. Wanna merge us to MERGR. And that vote fast and left. Just one of those days. And the merger land. Mr. Land, you're delusional psychotic. Wearing your uniform on my submarine. Mr. Land, I said Mr. Land, and your outfit's funk. Dirty funk and funk by your chemicals on. I said your language and I'm coherent myself. The votes of my name they devoted to the Brazil trill. Just one of those names. The votes of Brazil and the treasurer. Myself, thank you father who when the father found that the correctional officer. That's real. That's right. With the merger. Tomorrow, Sarah A. Carla. This song is for my founding mothers and fathers, aunties, Lancaster, Grand Rapids, St. Luke's, South Berkshire, the vote, nothing. Merger, Mount Sinai, the voter, the treasurer, president, chief executive, administrative officer. When I myself merger your corporation, it becomes one too. And if I put a hex on your tail lately, what I do, a certified vocal specialist with the voter and the merger. Well, that's real. A certified vocal specialist. You know I don't play. I got hex on everyone in my 30. I'm not dirt, but the doctors, they doctors, he funding them too. And the merger, looking at your dirty Ukrainian who, what, when, why. I gotta be cool. What Dr. Barrow. By another migrant that want me to knock your eyes out. Got to get paid. Out. I got to get paid. When I'm knocking you out. When you're not in St. Luke's too. Fix your face. Let's start the quality vote. Watch this, you know. Ooh, chain mail and I got paid, and I get paid to see you shake again. That's the and you are getting sleepy, and you are getting sleepy. I'm a certified vocal specialist, and that's real true. I said if I want to make it sleepy, the head's on you. If you're losing shaking, and you're repeating burrow, and you're repeating burrow, chain the lock, then you'll get your legally locking, and I'll make sure, whoa. And if I have the chain now, cause I'm certified to just one of those days. And I said that's real cool and right. And I want to see you shake your head and call out the what is. Show your true emotion. I said I'm a certified vocal specialist, and I think who, what, that's real. That's Secretary of State and the prosecutor. I got to pay. That's the vocal land, and my name is the vocal land. Mr. Land, with 32 degrees, he. We got leashes. We got leashes on their neck. And the tapeworm makes me superior. Because I gotta pay, I gotta fund the MD and the doctors, and they know the prosecutors, I still gotta pay the prosecutors. Reported live is the Secretary of State that gave me my certification. So that's what I do. Pay the people that have clients. Well, you know, I've been a client for the marshal, and not a secret. And since the lawyer that owns the firm didn't scratch his head in my face, he gave me $20 and said, please, you have nothing to worry about. You got an appointment with the judge tomorrow, and she's your aunt, but your prosecutor is on a load, and she gave you a petition, but he's criminally digging in the nose of kind. So because I'm awesomely loving this, I used to work for NBC, and that's why I love paying these little people with the less title and the less funding of mine. Once they start shaking, digging in their nose, and start like challenging me, I get paid then. That's what I love about my title. They go around humping kids, being reported on camera, shaking and scratching and shit. But that's why I know how to use a curse, a profanity word that puts a hex on these little individuals, because that tapeworm just starts doing what it wants to do. When they have tapeworms in their butt and their ass, I'm lucky I've been in treatment and I have a primary care physician, because that's how I get the whole certifications of just getting them the help they need. Because when you have a treasurer of a merchant company and the treasurer says this is enough, the prosecutor has to be getting paid now, and the prosecutor is assigned to get people prosecuted. That's why I think they don't understand. They need to stop calling me brother and telling me how they want to have sex with me with them drugs they smoking. They need to stop sleeping on the train, because the more that new governor say lights out, I'm going to say lights out in your cell, you legally locked in. Because a correction officer, my cousin works at correction officer, LaFare Davis works at Rikers Island. He's going to tell me what he told me on the phone in Queens when he said having the day off. He said, they are going to be legally locked in when they get to the facility, but I work at Rikers Island because before, when I was on assignment there, I was a steady. You know, the Secretary of State approved me a EIN number and a whole foreign entity business plan. But that was approved because I was trained with the antics of the provisions and the sanctions. That's why I was approved. Like, nothing was given to me. I'm a certified Chief Executive Administrative Officer, a certified administrative officer. But if I have to get challenged by little titles like people digging in their nose saying, I killed your brother! And my mother told me her brother was found dead in his apartment. And my mother told me 20 years ago, I have a brother that was found dead. Do you know the prosecutor loves getting paid? And I love my job. Reporting live from the MK Ultra, Manhattan, New York. Till next time, it's what you do. Read a book. And when you merge the MTA, they think it's a joke. It's not a joke. It's not, because I have you have every African over there, and every sex worker, and every migrant like that. Every migrant, every dwarf, every migrant. You're short, you're short, you're short, you're short. And then these people over here. Get your hands off your. Get your hands off of that. Wash your hand. Put your mask up. Put your mask up. See, when you have Africans, they refuse. That's why I discipline Africans because when they get next to kids, that's what they do. Look. He refused to put up. You refuse to put your mask up. You know I have to just discipline. Thank you. I'll protect the kids. Happy Earth Day. Nice smile. She's a great mother. That's why the Bronx is one of the best islands in the world. Now you have the islands that's productive. The Bronx and the other islands like Manhattan. Till next time, Mr. Joe. Read a book. Productive comedian here. That's right. It's the MK Ultra mind control, but the productive comedian, myself, devote to mind control of the hypocritical not and not the conspiracy theories at all. MK Ultra disciplinary action.